Right, great news for bacon lovers. And who doesn't love bacon? You know, is there one thing in the world that isn't improved by adding bacon to it? The US government has just issued the latest dietary guidelines with a game-changing edit showing fats possibly not as evil as we once thought. Grant Schofield, Professor of Public Health at AUT, agrees and has just published a book called What the Fat? Grant joins me now. Grant, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so put simply, there were two scientists, because they were worried, weren't they, about the people's deteriorating health and in particular heart disease. There were two scientists. One said fat was evil, one said sugar was evil, and the wrong one won. And all of a sudden sugar was considered good, fat was considered evil.
Yeah, and you can see how we went down this track. It's fat in food, dietary fat, and being fat in your blood. They're spelt the same for a start. That helps. They sort of look the same. But it turns out that their reasonable hypothesis just didn't turn out to be true. It's really sugar and carbs that drive getting fat, this master hormone insulin.
So what has changed recently? Because obviously you had the Atkins diet, you've had people sort of saying things around the line that, hey, fat is okay for you for quite some time. And then all of a sudden in the last sort of 6 months, there's been this revelation that sugar is absolutely evil.
I think the real change is actually now that it's not just a few academics in ivory towers, the boys' club that has the keys to the academic papers. That's open to all now, and that's what's recently changed. So I think the public's deciding, they're going, hey, this works. I've been trying for decades to stay in shape. I've just got fatter and fatter despite my low-fat diet and my efforts. So I think that's fundamentally what's changed.
And this is one of the issues that we've had, of course. We've had a lot of money, I mean billions of dollars over the decades, spent on saying choose this because it's low-fat. Yeah. But in fact, to make it edible or desirable, it's high in sugar. Yeah. So we now have to change that whole way of thinking.
Yeah, if you have something that's low in fat, low in sugar, well, that we have a word for that. It's cardboard.
Yeah. It's packaging.
Which is a problem as well. But we don't eat that typically. Well, I don't. And so we have to add something. It's going to have to be sugar. So,
is it possible to eat fat and not get fat?
Totally. As long as you get the carbs down, it's really the carbs, especially the sugar, they drive up this hormone insulin. It's a storage hormone. It makes you store everything you eat. Yeah. And if you can keep that down, then you'll burn fat as your primary fuel source.
All right. Now, one of the interesting differences with sugar, there is no such thing as good sugar and bad sugar. And I know there are people that paint the picture that there is, but there actually isn't. But there is such a thing as good fat and bad fat, isn't there?
Yeah. And again, that's sort of switched from what we thought. We're told to avoid these particular types of fats like butter and coconut oil. They're higher in saturated fat and these sorts of things. I think we're now shifting to understand that those are okay. Foods that have been foods that humans have eaten for centuries. And it's these other ones, these sort of industrial oils that you need a chemistry lab to produce that are probably the problems.
Okay, so natural fats are okay?
Yeah, in my view, sure.
All right. How much can we eat? Because you say what the fat, I mean, you've got recipes in here. Should we be eating bacon all the time?
Well, I mean, clearly, if you're going to stuff down bacon for every meal, it probably is not going to end well. But, bacon, I like bacon. I actually had some bacon this morning. Bring it on. We're talking about food in the context of what humans have eaten, which is whole plants and animals.
Yeah. So, I mean, because one of the issues is, these conversations normally end up with someone saying everything in moderation. And people like me think, oh, bugger. So we have to do the whole moderation thing. Yeah. What I want is someone to say to me, just eat much less sugar and just go crazy on the meat.
Well, I mean, the moderation, frankly, is a food industry slogan. It sort of allows you to feel good about stuffing down your gob whatever you want. Moderation. It's not moderation. I stuff down another chocolate bar and chase it up with several other loaded sugar things. Oh, it's all moderation. Frankly, I think that's bullshit. That's just.
Oh, I love this. I love the way this is going.
It's not the way it goes. Yeah. It's actually, for us, we're getting fatter, we're getting more diabetic. Sugar and carbs have been the problem. They still are.
So we can increase the amount of fat in our diet and lose weight. It will help us lose weight.
Totally, but you've got to get the carbs down. If you eat high fat, high carbs, that's called the standard American diet. You can figure out the acronym. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the book, Professor Grant Schofield. The book is called What the Fat? Fat is in, sugar is out.